presentation, and each page is a digitally rich note with pictures, text, audio, video. The sorts of things you can do with OneNote: you can obviously organise and plan your work. I'm going to talk about my experience of that in a minute. You can also collaborate with colleagues, so you can take notes with your colleagues and sync those up. And also going to talk about Classnote, which is a special notebook to do with actual teaching in the BLE. So collaboration, this is actually a screenshot of a notebook I share with Rich Connis, and this is actually the presentation we're doing now. So this has actually got screenshots Rich has taken. I've then pulled those screenshots out and put them into the presentation. So you may well see this screenshot later. So it can be used to organise and plan. This is actually my physical folder for Foundation Maths, which is a behemoth. It's about this big. So I've been converting this into a digital folder. This means that it's searchable. I can also put, as I said, media-rich stuff in. But I can also still print from this folder. So I use this for board examples and so forth, so I print out. So as I said, I'm teaching Foundation Maths, and I've been using it mainly to plan my work and for content creation. So as I said, I'll create content, print content out, use board work, but I'll also tag stuff, search, and so forth. And it's been invaluable for me when I got very, very busy during assessment and so forth. So this is an example of me planning a session. So one of the nice features is I use checklists down here, which is effectively like your tasks. And what I can do is I can aggregate all my materials into a particular section for a particular week, and then I can tick off my tasks as I go through. And again, this was things like checking board examples and so forth. I can also create content, so these are actually the board examples. I created these, it's got the equation editor in OneNote, it's got all the facilities in Microsoft Word and so forth. But I also have, as I said, aggregated tools and so forth, so I can reference my material whilst I'm creating my notes from within OneNote. It doesn't mean it's all scattered all over the place. Class Notebook is a special one for kind of, it's almost like a BLE at the moment. It allows you to have a content library, which you can put your content in, a collaboration space for students, but every student gets their own individual notebook, which means that they can then pull content in, do work in, and you can see that and edit that as well along with the student. So Rich Connis, who's a maths lecturer, has been doing this on a first-year module, maths software module, and he's actually been delivering all his teaching content in there. He's done all his communication and he's done all his assessment via the Class Notebook, and he's still in the process of doing that. He's currently marking that. So this is actually the maths software Class Notebook. This is actually one of the Class Notebook features. You've got collaboration space here, which everybody can edit. You've got the content library, which Rich can edit, but people can pull stuff out of. And then you can see here all these tabs of the student areas. This is obviously Rich's view, so Rich can see everything. An example of communication he's used is this, for example. What he gets students to do is type a question anywhere in the notebook, and he asks them to tag it with a yellow star. And one of the features of OneNote is you can search for the yellow stars, all the questions in any notebook, and then he can respond accordingly. So this brings all the questions together and so forth. Assessment, using the kind of Office 365 tools and tablets, he's able to get students to print stuff out to the notebook. He can then annotate using a digital pen. He can make highlights, highlighted marks. He can also put text and audio feedback directly into this. We'll see some examples in a second. So these are just a few quick screenshots. There's some better versions, but Rich was in a hurry. So this is a contents page that Rich has obviously just annotated. Some graphs that are missing the axes. He's noted what needs to be done there, but he's also provided some type feedback here. And as I said before, he can provide audio or video feedback if you wanted to do so. So some student participation. This is the collaboration space, and one of the things Rich has done is put public questions here. This means that anybody can ask a question, he can provide answers, but interestingly, students can also answer other students' questions, and then once they're answered, obviously they get tagged as not being questions anymore. And obviously you can also use this for group work and so forth. The other thing just to note is the Class Notebook has just suddenly gained an add-in, and this add-in into OneNote allows you to distribute content directly from other notebooks into the Class Notebook, and it also allows you to do other things like add and remove students and so forth. So basically the last word is that this is extended functionality, and Microsoft are actively developing this, and effectively it's moving towards, I suppose, BLE, and I shouldn't really say that, I'm not going to say it anyway.